Selamat sejahtera and good day everyone. We are students Diploma in Applied Science from UTHM Campus Pago. We will be presenting our Statistic 2 project based learning about the effect of music on concentration among students. Here are my group members. Nowadays, many students listen to music while studying. However, conflicting opinions exist regarding whether music enhances concentration or acts as a distraction. On one hand, some argue that background slow-tempo music helps reduce stress levels, thereby improving focus over longer periods. On the other hand, others contend that music with lyrics may negatively affect concentration during task completion. Therefore, this study was conducted to determine whether music significantly affects students' concentration using statistical calculations. Does listening to music significantly affect concentration performance compared to working in silence? Let's test it, shall we? We use hypothesis testing where the null hypothesis tests there is no significant difference, while the alternative hypothesis tests there is a significant difference.
Before we begin with calculations, let's discuss how we want to make a task to test the respondents' concentration. I mean, we must test them both with music and without music, right? So, we come up with a plan which is to give them a task that based on mathematical and common knowledge questions. We provided two genre songs that centered on pop music and slow tempo music. But we are flexible if the respondents want to listen to their own preference music. We made 6 math questions and 4 common knowledge questions for both tasks. Since the same respondents were tested under both conditions, a paired sampled t-test was used. This study focuses on whether they could remember all the math questions with music or without music through the processing, retaining, recalling their information. The questions were conducted through Google Form survey and specifically only for UTHM Pago students. We successfully received enough respondents, which is 30 of them. Therefore, my next groupmate is going to explain every statistic calculation that we have done using the respondents' scores.
As you can see from the result shown, the mean score for the test completed without music was 8.87. While the mean score for the test completed with music was lower at 7.83. This indicates that, on average, respondents answered approximately one more question correctly while working in silence. The standard deviation of the music concentration was higher compared to the silent condition, showing that students' performance were more spread out when music was present. Some respondents still achieved high scores while listening to music, but several others showed much lower scores, which reduced the overall average. Scores in the silent condition were more clustered around the mean, indicating more stable and predictable performance among respondents. From this calculation, we can already prove which one is better, but it requires more evidence. Therefore, my fellow members will provide more evidence.
Next, I will explain about hypothesis testing. Using pair t-test with the formula, we got the answer of -3.161 and p-value of 0.0037, which is smaller than the significance level of 0.05. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is significant difference between studying with music and without music. The 95% confidence interval for the mean difference is -1.702 to -0.365. Since the interval does not contain 0, there is evidence of significant difference between concentration performance with music and without music. The sampling distribution of the mean difference can be assumed to be approximately normal. Therefore, the use of the pair t-test is appropriate for this analysis.
To continue my members' point earlier, we made 2 graphs, which are histogram and box plot. The histogram graph shows the most score difference are negative, which state here -3 to -1, and -1 to 1 score, indicating students generally score lower with music. The box plot also show the silence condition achieve higher and more consistent score compared to the music condition. In conclusion, from this study, students generally perform better without music. Statistical analysis proved that the difference was significant. Therefore, a quiet environment may be more suitable for concentration during cognitive demanding tasks. We have reached to the end of the slide and our presentation. Thank you for your time watching us presenting. I hope this study has helped you understand about our study and goodbye.